Summary: the Prophet taught us to pay back our debts in the most handsome way, even if it means giving something of a lesser value. The Prophet offered the Hawazin tribe two options to choose from, either their captives or their property, and they chose to have their captives returned. Sahih al-Bukhari 2606. Narrated Abu Huraira, Allah's Messenger owed a man some debt, and that man demanded it very harshly. The companions of the Prophet wanted to harm him, but the Prophet said to them, "Leave him, as the creditor has the right to speak harshly." He then added, "Buy a camel of the same age and give it to him." They said, "We cannot get except a camel of an older age than that of his." He said, "Buy it and give it to him, as the best amongst you is he who pays back his debt in the most handsome way." Sahih al-Bukhari 2607. Narrated Marwan bin al-Hakam and al-Maswar bin Makrama, when the delegates of the tribe of Hawazin came to the Prophet, they requested him to return their property and their captives. He said to them, "This concerns also other people along with me, as you see, and the best statement to me is the true one, so you may choose one of two alternatives, either the captives or the property, and I have not distributed the booty, for I have been waiting for you." When the Prophet had returned from Taif, he waited for them for more than 10 nights. When they came to know that the Prophet would not return except one of the two, they chose their captives. The Prophet then stood up amongst the Muslims, glorified and praised Allah as he deserved, and then said, "Then after, these brothers of yours have come to you with repentance, and I see it proper to return their captives, so whoever amongst you likes to do that as a favor, then he can do it, and whoever of you wants to stick to a share till we pay him from the very first fai, i.e. war booty, which Allah will give us, then he can do so." The people said, "We return the captives to them willingly as a favor, O Allah's Messenger." The Prophet said, "I do not know who of you has given his consent and who has not, so go back and your leaders may present your decision to me." The people went away, and their leaders discussed the matter with them, and then came to the Prophet to tell him that all of them had given their consent to return the captives willingly. Azizun, the sub-narrator, said, "This is what we know about the captives of Hawazin." Explanations. This hadith is about paying back debts and how we should do so with kindness and generosity. The Prophet Muhammad was owed a debt by someone who was demanding it harshly. His companions wanted to harm the man, but the Prophet told them to leave him alone as he has the right to speak harshly. He then said that they should buy a camel of an older age than what was owed and give it to him as repayment instead. This teaches us that when we owe someone money, we should pay them back in the most generous way possible, even if it means giving something of lesser value than what is owed. We must also be kind when repaying our debts, as this will bring us closer to Allah's pleasure and reward us for our good deeds in this life and hereafter. This hadith is about a situation that occurred when the delegates of the Hawazin tribe came to Prophet Muhammad asking for their property and captives back. The Prophet offered them two alternatives, either they could take back their captives or keep their property. After discussing it amongst themselves, they chose to have their captives returned. This hadith teaches us that repentance is accepted by Allah and that we should be generous with our favors towards others in need. It also shows us how patient and understanding the Prophet was with his people even when he was in a difficult situation himself.